After a winning road trip, the Royals return home, hoping to get things straightened out at Kauffman Stadium. All they had to do was get through the Yankees and the Red Sox. And now a win tonight means a winning homestand. Bruce Chen takes on Royal killer John Lester next on Fox Sports Kansas City.
Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium, and a win tonight against the Boston Red Sox, and the Royals will have a winning homestand. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals are going for their first winning homestand of the year, and Bruce Chen is going for his first win of the year.
Okay, but in order to do that, he's got to get some run support. They've only averaged 1 run per start for him this year, but Mike Kia's scouting report for him, work ahead. Okay, teams are hitting 100 points higher when he's behind in the count. Okay, number 2 is first time's a charm. Hasn't been that way for Bruce. The opponents are hitting 353 off him first time through the order. And finally, make a stand. Be a winner. Make a homestand a winner here with a good outing by Bruce. At least eat him 6 innings. It'll be good.
And hoping for some run support, the Royals were out hit by the Red Sox last night, but they had the biggest hit of the game. Billy Butler's home run. We'll be right back. Lottery. When you play, students win. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. Royals made a roster move today. Joel Goldberg will have the details when we come back.
Last August 5th, and on August 7th, his first big league home run, and it took place in front of friends and family that were in town to see Johnny play. Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. Johnny Giavotella is back at Kauffman Stadium. Called up by the Royals today from AAA Omaha. Left-handed pitcher Jonathan Sanchez put on the disabled list with bicep tendonitis in his left arm, and so that means that Gio is up after tearing it up in the minor leagues this year. .331 batting average, .408 on base percentage, 5 homers, 25 RBIs. Ned Yost saying they will use him for the most part against lefties and coming off the bench as a righty. We'll see him tonight. Ryan and Rex have the call next.
By Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. Red Sox are lined up this way against Bruce Chen. Will Middlebrooks is back in there. He left early with a hamstring strain last night. Jared Saltalamacchio will be behind the plate. That's his first start of the series. And it's the first start of the series for Ryan Sweeney, who's in right field. About a .360 hitter. That's .360 in the number 9 position. Facing Bruce Chen, making his 7th start. Still going for his first win. His last victory was September the 23rd at the Chicago White Sox, and that's where the Royals head tomorrow night and begin a 3-game series there on Friday. But first things first, trying to take a series from the Red Sox. And Bruce throws strike 1 to begin the game.
Okay, needs to do that all night if he can. Working ahead of these guys. They're very patient offense, and they can hit. Keep it down.
And Aviles on a pitch up and in just muscles it into left center field. That is his 3rd hit of the series.
Okay, that was a little bit elevated there, but they'll have to keep it down. All right, Alex Gordon. He wears the goal for a reason. He's got skills. Billy Butler, go ahead, Billy. Show him how that hard work is going to pay off here tonight. Pena gets the call with Big Bruce behind the plate tonight. We'll see if he puts down the right fingers for Bruce, especially right here. He'd love to induce a ground ball double play from Pedroia, who's a pretty good hitter.
At .309 right now, but against the Royals in his career, Pedroia hits .389.
Bruce is going to give him everything he's got out there. He's got 4 pitches, maybe 5 or 6, depending on how he changes speed on his fastball. He'll go around at 91 to tops, but he'll 4-seam it, 2-seam it, sink it, curve, slider, changeup. He's got them all. A few different angles he'll use with his arm. That's a good pitch, that one that darts down and into the righty. Get a ground ball out of that. Another beautiful evening here. Slight breeze. Maybe the breeze won't make a difference in the outcome of fly balls like we've seen earlier in the series.
In the air to right field. So Bruce gets Dustin Pedroia. Frank Coor makes the play. 1 out. And on this beautiful night, we have a temperature of 69 degrees. Started right on time at 7:10. Time and temp brought to you by the parking spot at KCI. So we had those heavy thunderstorms on Sunday and just pulled all the heat and humidity out of Kansas City. And we've had 3 gorgeous nights, and this weather is supposed to continue throughout the week. So runner at first, and David Ortiz steps in. 4 hits in the first 2 games, including a home run, his 7th of the year. He has also walked twice. Ball 1 outside.
Big Papi doesn't have any problem against lefties this year. He's hitting .415 with 4 homers.
Aviles has 4 stolen bases, but he has been thrown out 3 times. And now it's 2-0 on Ortiz. And there's been a few times where Bruce has come to the plate, and Aviles has taken a couple of steps back to first. So perhaps he is not reading Bruce's move.
Oh, Bruce, he pays attention to runners. He'll throw over quite a bit. Sometimes a base stealer will try to break on first movement whenever he lifts up his foot, but he goes ahead and throw behind the runners. Billy Butler, nice to see him get on the field. He loves that. Now he knows he's a DH with Hosmer's ability at first base, but he loves getting out there.
That's a swing. Chris Guccione is the third base umpire. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's the pitch that Bruce will use against left-handers. A fading pitch away, big breaking ball. He's only given up a .257 average, just 1 home run to lefties.
And a fastball got him looking. So Ortiz thought he was going to get either a curve or a changeup, and down he goes.
Yep, he was guessing, no doubt about it. And Bruce, when you're guessing on him, he's got enough sneaky cheese on that fastball to get that buy-in. Surprise you like that.
And now Adrian Gonzalez. Batting at .280. 4 hits in this series. Only 1 RBI.
Nice for these guys to get out of town without this guy getting hot. Because when he gets rolling, he's a dangerous hitter.
Aviles takes off, and Gonzalez pops it up. Chris Getz backpedals onto the grass, and Bruce Chen has a scoreless first inning, working around a leadoff single. Billy comes through tonight.
I'm just going to let Big Bill do what Big Bill does. Just let him hit one in the gap, and he did a little more than that.
That was Ned Yost talking about Billy Butler. Not sure if Billy knows that his nickname is Big Bill, but it is now. And Big Bill is at first base as the Royals will face left-hander John Lester. Johnny Giavotella called up from AAA. He'll be the designated hitter. Eric Hosmer and Mike Moustakas get the night off, and Irving Falou will get a start at third base against, yikes, John Lester.
Yep, he's a beast, whether he faces this team or any of them. The keys for them to beat him tonight is right. That's right. The right-handers are hitting .271 with 3 homers off him. Okay, so the right-handers, that's one of the reasons Giavotella got called up and get the big hit. The opponents are, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, hitting .417 off of him. So you got to get the big hit and get Bruce some runs. Please, that 1-run average that his team has given Bruce hasn't allowed him to get it on the board with a W. Got to have some support.
And Bruce, being Bruce, he's not going to make an excuse, but you're right. I mean, he's made 6 starts before tonight, and the Royals have scored 7 runs.
Okay, what the batters will be facing is a powerful, strong lefty. 4-seam fastball. He's going to be constantly in the mid-90s. He's got a 2-seam sinker, curveball, and a changeup.
Tyson slices it off the left field line, still 1-2.
Talked about his batting average against righties is .271 with 3 homers. Lefties are only hitting .179 with no homers off of Lester. Pretty dominant lefties. He's not quite in CC Sabathia's league, but he's close.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Although the Royals might rather face Sabathia than John Lester. A 1.30 earned run average against the Royals in 7 starts. And 6 of those 7 starts, Rex, he's allowed either 1 run or 0 runs. Bounced out to Pedroia. Dyson is the first out. And now Ford will show us the Red Sox on defense.
Hit the Sox with Marlon Byrd out there. He does a pretty good job. Ryan Sweeney's getting that start in right field. Adrian Gonzalez has got a good glove. Will Middlebrooks is back out there third after a tight hamstring. And Jared Saltamaki is getting in there after 2 days rest after 17 innings caught before they came here.
That's worthy of 2 games off the next day, next 2 days.
He earned it. But the kid Middlebrooks, he had a little tight hamstring, came out of the game last night, but he told me before the game that he had a couple little bubbles in his hammy, a couple little knots, and they rubbed it out and kind of got him some treatment, and he's back ready to go. I like this new lineup tonight because there's an off day tomorrow. And, you know, there's some guys that need some days off, and why not give them a day off before the off day, so you give them an essentially 2 days off. So that's really good for Moustakas and Hosmer.
And Ned Yost made it very clear that, yes, Eric Hosmer's hitting .181, but if he was hitting .281 or .381, this would be a good night to give him a night off. He has started every game and gets a break in the Royals' 30th game of the year. Lester gets his first strikeout, 2 down in the first inning.
Okay, he just comes right at you, not directly over the top. He has a little bit of a drop in his arm angle, but he's on you quickly. A little bit of movement, and that slider makes him tough.
Billy Butler, what a turn of events for him from Monday to Tuesday. Almost identical scenarios, Rex. On Monday, Billy comes to the plate, and the Royals are down by 1, bases loaded, 1 out. The Red Sox make a pitching change, hoping for a double play, and they got it. Last night, 1-run game, 2 on, nobody out. Red Sox hoping for a double play. They make a pitching change, but this time Billy hits the 3-run home run into the fountains.
sinking fastball. It didn't sink. So the Royals players know about the domination that Lester's had over this team. But, you know, you can't give in and go, oh, no, he's pitching. You just have to say, okay, it's our turn tonight. You have to stay positive and upbeat in order to beat anybody like this.
Just missed.
Lester thought he had that one. But you've got to find a way to be positive. And, you know, if you get a couple runners out there, you've got to really focus on just a short, quick swing off a power arm like this. That's how you make the contact. Use the whole field. Don't try to overswing him.
Billy fills out the count, 3-2 with Francoeur on deck. Well, he does come in tonight with a 4.62 ERA, John Lester.
That's what you look at. You look at, you know, hey, look, somebody else is scoring runs on him. We can too. That was his first changeup, and he wasn't happy with that. He pounded his glove, so you can almost expect a fastball as he holds that glove straight out in front like CC and Verlander. Guy's been around the league. He knows that hitters feed off of the body language and any kind of movement with the glove, so he's going to hold that ball in that glove right out in front and not change the glove angle at all. There he is. Randy Johnson, one of the most dominant left-handers in our era, he did the same thing, and it was pretty frightening when you couldn't see him. Ooh, good AB.
Comes back from 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Butler walks with 2 outs.
Randy Johnson had all that hair in the back, and he pulled his hat way down. His glove would be right there under his eyeballs. You couldn't even see him.
He could see you, but you couldn't see him.
Yeah, and you know, being a roommate of his before he became great, you know, I was friends with him, but he would understand if I said this. That was a good position for his glove, because if you saw his face, it would scare you anyway. Worse, so I was kind of happy he covered his
Could have been more intimidating if he had his glove off to the side. That's what you're saying.
It's bad for your eyes.
Francoeur almost hit on the foot. 5-game hitting streak for Francoeur, batting at .252, still looking for that first home run of the year. 107 at-bats this season without a home run, so he is more than due. One and one. You know, think about a lefty with a cut fastball. As we look at where Francoeur is now in his longest home run drought. Think about that cut fastball would break in on the hands of a right-hand batter, but Lester to Francoeur and to Butler before that, it's almost like a backdoor cut fastball, starting outside and trying to break over the corner.
And he had a good rip on that. Frenchie just missed. Yeah, those cutters on righties can be deceiving because it looks pretty much like a fastball's coming, especially when it starts in the middle of the plate and it breaks the way you're supposed to break it, and that's a short little, maybe 2 inches. And it jams you, gets a lot of broken bats.
But he's thrown a couple that have started outside.
Yeah.
Almost like a backdoor slider.
Might be overthrowing it a little.
Tried to get him to chase a curveball. It's 2-2. And we'll do it again. In addition to those great career numbers against the Royals, we remember the no-hitter at Fenway Park in 2008. John Lester not only threw his first major league complete game that night, but it was a no-hitter. And that really put the Royals in a tailspin. The Royals ended up losing 12 in a row, beginning with the Lester no-hitter. Another foul ball.
Okay, another key to beating Lester is to don't let him back into counts. Okay, he's had a couple hitters, Billy Butler down 1 and 2, and he was patient with him, and he drew the walk. Frenchie now, he's got a good little AB going here. He's swung 2 or 3 times, he's fouled a few off. Each time you get a little closer and closer to squaring one up.
Curveball is pulled to the left side. So another good at bat. With 2 outs and nobody on, the Royals have a walk and a single.
Okay, he wins this at bat. He waited out Lester to try to make a pitch, starting it on the outside part of the plate, ends up right back over the middle. He was waiting on it. So now this is what you want. You get him with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. The opponents have a .417 average against John Lester. First inning, best time. Get on board first. Pretty good opportunity for Gio in his first at bat this year here.
Notice this in spring training. Giavotella going without the batting gloves this year, and that was working at AAA. He was having a monster season there and really heating up in the month of May. .483 batting average in 8 games this month. And a line drive to center. It stays up, and it's misplayed by Bird. So Giavotella, in his first at-bat since being called back up. We'll see how they scored. It's an error, so he doesn't get an RBI, but responsible for the Royals' first run.
Man, he hit that ball on the screws. It had a little bit of rise to it. And Marlon Bird, he overplayed it, because it's hard to read that ball right at you sometimes, but he had backspin on it. So Marlon Bird came in too fast thinking it was sinking when it had backspin on it. So Giavotella doesn't get a base hit out of this, but then he hit that ball as hard as you can. Now, that's a rare boot there by Marlon Bird. You don't see that very much. The Foxmo, sponsored by Dodge, good short, quick swing. The reason he doesn't have batting gloves is because, like you mentioned, he's hot, but he has a better feel for the bat. So they'll take anything they can get off of Lester and the Red Sox, especially early getting Bruce a lead.
And now first and third, and Brian Pena, who is 2 out of 5 in the past against John Lester. Her ball is low. Brian started game 1 and was 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. One and one. Dyson grounded out against Lester, and then Gordon struck out. So 2 quick outs, but then the walk to Billy Butler after Butler was down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Francoeur fouled off 3 before his single, and then the run scoring on the air by Marlon Bird in center field. And this will be the 30th pitch of the inning for John Lester.
Excellent first inning for the Royals, even if he gets Pena out here. They've taxed his pitch count a little bit. We got to see some pitches.
Three and one.
One more lousy single, and it'll be a real good first inning.
trying to go the other way, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's a happy fan.
Hand might be a little sore. That ball arrived rather hot into the seats. Gonzalez will back off at first, so Giavotella can get a nice big lead. And he takes off as Pena had a good swing and fouled it back. Another run for the Royals in this series that didn't come as a result of a base hit. This one, the result of an error. And even though the Royals lost game 1 11-5 on Monday, all 5 runs were scored and not on a base hit. Pena jolts it to left center field. That's deep, and it is going to be run down. No, Ross bobbled it.
No.
It was off the fence, so
running.
it's no catch. And Brian Pena, caught in between second and third, is going to be able to get back.
Yeah, you got to watch that umpire. He trapped it off the wall. And third base umpire Guccione was signaling all the way. He trapped it, and everybody kind of stopped out there, the runners. You got to keep going. You can't assume in this game. But fortunately, they got another run.
And Guccione explaining that, yeah, he got his glove on it and he bobbled it, but once it hit the screen, then there's no way that Ross can catch it. He played it off the screen, but no play once it hits the fence.
Good at bat by Pena. Now, look at it. He has it in the heel of his glove here. Now it popped off and hit the fence. So Guccione was right on the play. Now, Brian Pena, he says, all right, I guess I can. No, maybe maybe I better not. So he was able to avoid the throw and was able to slide back in there. And really, that's what Bobby Valentine wants. He wants the guys to get together and talk about that.
You know what they could be talking about? I mean, it's clearly not a catch if it hits the wall. But, you know, looking at the replay, and again, it's slow motion, did he have it long enough before it came out of his glove and hit the screen? That might be what the umpires are discussing, because looking at the replay, I think it hit the fence 2 different times. But Bobby Valentine might be arguing that it was in his glove and he had possession of it, and then it came out.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like they're going to change the call. After umpires all meet and they come out of their meeting, there's no signal or anything, they're going to stick with their call. And what this is doing is it's really taken any kind of rhythm that Lester was trying to gather, it's taking it away right now. So it's been a first inning success regardless. They've expended over 30 pitches from Lester. They've got a 3-0 lead here and a chance to do more damage with 2 outs. And like I said earlier, the opponents with 2 outs and runners in scoring position hitting .417. So that mark will be upped. And Bobby Valentine, he's not going to win this.
If we can, let's take a look at it again and just see, did the ball pop out? Now
I'm not sure he ever had control of it.
He's got it.
In the heel.
In the heel.
But it's kicked off his leg right there, and it flips up his glove. Now, if he had it long enough, Guccione would have signaled out right away. But apparently, he didn't have control of it. Or at least Guccione didn't think he did. Okay, hits his thigh right here and starting to roll up the tip of his glove. Interesting.
Well, how many steps did he have it, though? I mean, I know this isn't football and it's keeping your feet in bounds, but it was, whether it was in the heel or the palm of the glove, it looked like he had it for a couple of steps. And then bringing his glove up maybe to brace himself as he was getting ready to run into the screen, and it came flying out then.
First homestand of the year, they call him out and the inning's over. That's how the luck was going for the Royals. Now it's changed.
So it's a 2-run double for Pena and a 3-run first inning. Irving Falou on the 35th pitch from Lester is down, no balls and 2 strikes. Made his big league debut on Sunday against the Yankees. He had 2 hits, including a triple in his first big league at bat against Phil Hughes. that cutter we were talking about, staying outside, trying to get the corner.
So really, Marlon Byrd out in center field is shaking his head saying, you know, this never would have happened had I just made better judgment on that line drive.
The other way, and foul.
That's the right approach.
"37 pitches, and normally John Lester, at least against the Royals in the past, is a pretty pitch efficient lefty. Quick outs, allowing the hitters to put the ball in play. Grounded to Middlebrooks. The inning is over. The Royals come up with 3 unearned runs, but they'll take it. 3-0 against Lester.
Call the cops. They got Bruce 3 runs. He'll take it.
Nothing. The Fan of the Game sweepstakes is going on now at Olathe Fiat, and you could win a new Fiat 500 Pop. Finalists for the grand prize drawing will be announced on Fox Sports Kansas City, and in July, 1 fan will win the Fiat 500 Pop. Look for rules and enter now at Olathe Fiat. For Bruce Chen, this is the 37th inning that he has pitched this year, and only the 2nd time with the lead. 2 out of 37. So he's been pitching uphill all year.
You don't have to tell Bruce what situation he's in now. He says, okay, now I'm not going to try too hard. I'm going to just execute my pitches. Let my defense do the work. And with a lot of right-handers in that Boston lineup tonight, off a guy who's not overpowering like Bruce, the left side of the infield is going to get a lot of work because they're going to be ahead of his pitches. And just like that one there, Middlebrooks is trying to hold that. Falou's got sure hands, and you know Escobar does. They're playing Middlebrooks to pull.
And Middlebrooks is 4 for 6, all extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Left after 1 at bat last night with a tight left hamstring, or as he described to Rex, maybe just a cramp in his hamstring. So big difference between a strain and a cramp.
Or bubbles, a couple bubbles. That's kind of what it feels like.
He is the first player in Red Sox history to have an extra base hit in his first 5 games.
Oh, to be young and talented.
Good fastball, and Bruce strikes out his second.
Okay, use that off-speed stuff early in the count, gets those hitters looking for that, and that, the way he swung at that, looked like that ball was thrown at 95 miles an hour. Effective and out of the strike zone. That's Fox mode. Slows it way down for you. Like hitters wishes they could see it out of the guy's hand like that, but it doesn't happen. Only with modern technology.
Cody Ross, who is standing right next to Brian Pena, and couldn't quite hang on to Brian's drive in the bottom of the first inning, which resulted in a 2-run double and a 3-run first.
Okay, another thing that Bruce does so well is he's really got good tempo and good rhythm. He's got his team. His team's got him the lead. Now he goes out there and he executes. He gets that sign and he throws the ball.
Out of play.
It's good tempo.
One and two.
Okay, that young lefty there, he could learn a lot by watching Bruce, and he does. Although he's having fun with Moose, because Moose used to being out there on that field during this time. Haas. But the tempo and the rhythm, the body language, all of that stuff that Duffy's learning.
Still 2-2 on Cody Ross. Danny Duffy can throw 92 to 97, 98 miles an hour. And Bruce Chen would love to have stuff like that, but with a lot less velocity. Bruce Chen has won 12 games in his last 2 years with the Royals. He's going to have to hurry, and he throws a strike over to Billy Butler.
And that play's not as easy as it looks. Pitcher's got to come out of his delivery, hustle over, and when you barehanded, it's a do or die, basically. But pick it up, you can't do anything unless you focus on picking it up. Now he has one step with that right foot. He'll just turn, open up his hips so he can go and keep the ball out of the line of the base runner.
That's a good sign that even when he's throwing to first, he's keeping it down and below the knees.
That's right. All night long from the bump.
This is Jared Saltalamacchia. Rex told you in the first inning he was behind the plate on Sunday for all 17 innings with the Red Sox losing to the Orioles. So Kelly Shopik, the backup, started Monday and Tuesday, and that right there is the longest last name in Major League history. No balls and 2 strikes. Steve Kurtenbach, our director, suggesting that just hauling around all those letters on your back all year is a workout.
Yeah, for 17 innings, it might be a little taxing.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a little strange to play the Red Sox and not see Jason Varitek behind the plate for any of the games. And he retired during spring training and had lost a lot of playing time to Saltalamacchia last year. For all intents and purposes, he was the backup catcher. And now it's Saltalamacchia and Shopik. curveball. Pena hangs on the foul tip. 2 strikeouts and a 3-up, 3-down second for Chen. For the All-Star game, we invite you to come out on May 19th for an exclusive 2012 All-Star Garden Gnome presented by Pepsi. And those gnomes will be given out to the first 10,000 fans as the Royals take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks in town when the Royals come back to Kansas City. That'll be a 6:15 game on Saturday the 19th. Gates will open at 4:30. Well, we don't know how many pitches John Lester will throw tonight, but we can tell you that he spent 38 of those in the first inning.
But he's coming out this inning and looks like he's a little more settled in.
1-2 on Getz. And that's through the left side. He got it past Middlebrooks and the diving Aviles. So down but not out. And to count 1-2. Getz gets it through the left side.
That ball had eyes on it. Look at that. They had everything covered there, the defenders there, and it was perfectly placed by Getz. He lets the ball get deep in the strike zone right here. He makes contact in this area right here. They didn't try to pull it. He just wanted to do that. Good piece of hit.
So the leadoff man on, and the Royals in the first inning didn't have the leadoff man on. In fact, there were 2 outs and nobody on base, and the Royals turned that into a 3-run inning. Alcides Escobar takes strike 1.
Okay, look for Escobar to do the same thing except to the other way, the opposite field. He's really good at utilizing that hole over there between first and second base.
Instead, he pulls it to third. Middlebrooks jumping up high to get it, and kind of a risky play, but on target to Pedroia to cut down Getz. 1 out.
Lots of times when the third baseman's in, you get a little chopper over his head. He picked the wrong guy. Middlebrooks is very tall. But, you know, you like the fact that he had confidence enough to get the force at second base. It's going to be close. Gets runs well.
So Gerard Dyson for the second time, and Lester got him on a ground ball to second in the first inning.
So if Dyson has a similar stroke as Getz, he's got a couple lanes that he could shoot that ball through on the left side. They're a little worried about his speed, so they play in, and that gives him ground. But he can go here, he can go there. He's got a couple little spots with a short slap-like swing to keep this inning going.
1-1.
Ned Yost very happy with Dyson's approach. He's doing the little things, slapping it, pressuring defenses.
And he's done a lot of what you just described, Rex, against left-hand pitching. So he's a lefty that Ned Yost leaves in there against John Lester, with Mike Moustakas and Eric Hosmer getting the night off. Dyson hitting a lot better against lefties than he is righties.
One of the reasons is he knows his ability. He's not up there trying to pull off the ball to hit a big fly home run. So that helps keep his shoulder in on lefties. He's just up there kind of slapping. Could see Escobar take off for second base. He is second in the league with 7 stolen bases, but with 1 out and a 3-1 count, it's an action count.
And Dyson takes a strike. It's 3-2, and once again we'll keep an eye on Escobar. Escobar, with those 7 stolen bases, has only been thrown out once. He is not running, and Dyson takes a strike. Second strikeout for Lester, 2 outs.
See where Lester was keeping that ball out of the strike zone, and you know that's been a borderline pitch all night. Sometimes it's been a ball early, and that time Jeff Nelson rang him up. So with 2 strikes on you, any borderline pitches, you're taking a chance that you get called out. It's better trying to foul it off and staying alive. But a lot easier said than done.
That's a swing. 0-1 to Alex. Lester struck him out in the first inning. Alex is 0 for 10 against John Lester. Alex, not a left-hand batter who's had a lot of trouble against lefties in his career, and this year he's been very balanced. His batting average is almost identical against righties and lefties. One and one. Just a 2-point difference.
Alcides over there at first base, his body language appears that he's not interested in running. However, sometimes they just use it. See how he just sits there like that with his glove in his hand? He might just take off, but he didn't have a big lead.
1-2 on Alex. Just kind of con the pitcher into believing that you're not very interested.
How many times do you hear me talk about body language every game? Because that's the premium language, and that's how you read your opponent. So you try to trick them sometimes with your body language. See how short that lead is?
Shallow left and slicing to the line. And it's Aviles who goes a long way to get it. Royals are down in the second inning.
Nothing. Bruce Chen getting it done on the hill. Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. And I talked with Brian Pena about Chen today, and he said that he really believes that Bruce has been better than what the numbers show, other than one bad day against Minnesota. But he has given up 6 runs in each of his last 2 starts, guys. And Pena went back and looked at some video and noticed that they were using more changeups when things were good, less changeups the last couple of times out, and he said he has got to be able to use that changeup. If he does, it makes that fastball look more like 100 miles an hour, that cutter look more like 95 miles an hour, and he said we will be using that more tonight. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Joel. Marlon Byrd fouls it off of first. No balls, 2 strikes. And to build on Joel's point, Bruce Chen, a couple of starts ago, had a bad time against Minnesota, 6 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Now, based on what Brian Pena said, his start on Friday against New York, that's a line that looks a lot worse than it actually was, because Bruce gave up 2 runs in the first inning. So did CC Sabathia. And then Bruce was very good over the next 5 innings. He had 5 straight scoreless innings. And then the Yankees, with 2 outs and a runner at first in the 7th, scored 4 runs. And it happened fast, capped on that Derek Jeter 2-run home run.
Well, Brian Pena was talking about how much better Bruce is than his record shows. Happens like that with some guys, especially early.
Marlon Byrd down in the count, has a leadoff single in the 3rd.
And the Royals, they have an offensive player that is better than his numbers are showing. He's right there on your screen, showing no signs of failure. Great body language, as always. Never puts his head down. Haven't seen him throw a bat. Haven't seen him snap. It'll come.
Rex, you were just saying something in between innings. Texas Rangers are at Baltimore again tonight, and that game is rained out. And you were laughing, saying that now Josh Hamilton can sit on those 4 home runs for 2 days. He can relish that for 2 days. Well, on the flip side of that, even though the Royals aren't concerned with Eric Hosmer, because for the most part he's squaring the ball up, he can have a 2-day mental break now and distance himself from his 181 batting average and really feel like he's, wiping part of the slate clean when the Royals are in Chicago on Friday. 2-1 to Ryan Sweeney. Just sit and watch the game, talk the game, watch the other hitters. And that's into left field. Alex coming up, goes into a dive and was able to keep it in front of him. That's trouble if it skips by him. The Red Sox have back-to-back singles to begin the 3rd inning.
Well, he knows whenever he leaves his feet that he's got to keep the ball in front of him. Okay, that ball's out over the plate. And when he started his dive, he knew he was going to be a little short. So he kept his glove up, turned up, so he would stay in front of it. Good effort, though. Bruce, starting pitchers, they love seeing that. And they know they're going to get that from the defense all the time. It's a very good defensive team playing behind Bruce.
Here's Mike Aviles, who singled to begin the game. And he hits it in the air to left field. 1 out. Once again, interleague play begins for the Royals on Friday, May 18th. The Arizona Diamondbacks will come to town. It's Buck Night and Fireworks Friday, so hot dogs, peanuts, and soft drinks are just $1. Then stay after the game for Friday Night Fireworks, presented by Hy-Vee and Pepsi. As always, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Royals' next homestand, 2 games with the surprising Baltimore Orioles, and then the 3-game series with Arizona. Just an interleague preview. The Royals won't be back into interleague play again until the 2nd week of June. Pedroia flied to right in the 1st inning. And that's popped up. Long run for Butler, and that's going to land fair. That ball had a lot of side spin on it off the bat. That looked like that was going to be a foul ball, and a foul ball by about 10 feet.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be an out, although it, like you said, it carried out there. That's in no man's land. You're going good when you get hits like that.
You see by Billy Butler's route, he thought it was going to be foul.
So Bruce is his first interesting inning here. He's just one out. Sacks full of socks.
Outside to David Ortiz. It's only the third inning, and the Royals have a 3-0 lead, but this could be an at-bat that we look back on when the game is over. Did Bruce Chen get out of the bases loaded against Ortiz, or did Ortiz get to Bruce Chen? 2-0.
Well, Bruce is going to be real careful with Big Papi. Big Papi has 10 career grand slams, and the Red Sox are hitting .440 with the bases loaded this year.
That's a foul ball. It's 2-1. Bruce has had the better of the matchup with David Ortiz in the past. 19 times they've hooked up, and Ortiz has only 4 hits, but one of those 4 hits was a home run. Off speed, and Ortiz was going for it all. 2-2.
Spun him like a top. Okay, Bruce looked like he took a lot off of that pitch there. I don't think it was a changeup. I think it was just a little slow little slider, maybe.
Struck him out. Got him with high heat.
Boy, that's great pitching right there. He's looking for a fastball that he can handle out over the plate, and he's surprised him. So Bruce has got a couple strikeouts on that fastball that it appears to be faster than it really is, as he blew it by him.
And the inning is not over, because now Adrian Gonzalez steps in. Bruce retired Gonzalez on a pop-up to second in the first.
You're seeing Bruce compete. Good pitchers execute when their back's against the wall. Same thing now with Adrian Gonzalez. That was with Ortiz. Fell behind 2-0 and came back and got it. Started him off with a couple breaking balls, and then he went with a little slider out over the middle and some fastballs.
Change up and a hitter's count. Drops down sidearm, and he got the corner. 2-2.
We're watching a craftsman.
Just below the knees. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of guys swing over the top of that, or they ground it out. Good job of laying off. So now the Red Sox base runners, 3-2, 2 outs. They'll be running. Some action on the bases.
Runners go. There was a play at first base, possibly, as Pedroia was fooled. He thought Bruce Chen was going to the plate, and he took off. And Gonzalez lines it to right center field. Francoeur cuts it off deep. 2 runs are home. Pedroia is around third, and he is able to get around Pena, and Gonzalez ties the game with a 3-run double.
So close to getting out of that. Sidearm, he dropped down, tried a fastball, but is out over the plate, and Gonzalez didn't try to do too much. He just wanted to put it in play with the base runners running. French does a great job of trying to get that in quickly. And Escobar's throw just a little up the line.
And now Will Middlebrooks with Gonzalez at second base. Gonzalez drove in just 1 run in the first 2 games, and now gets 3 with 1 swing in the 3rd inning. Nubbed off the end of the bat. And the flip to first to end the inning. Adrian Gonzalez comes up big with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Last night, giving him 23 RBIs, and as we look at our Toyota League leaders, that ties him for 4th in the league with David Ortiz. Right now everybody is chasing Josh Hamilton. Edwin Encarnacion having a big year for the Blue Jays, and Nick Swisher, we just saw him over the weekend and hit a home run on Sunday. Butler, Francoeur, and Giavotella coming up in the 3rd. The Royals got 3 unearned runs in the 1st because of a Marlon Byrd error in center field, and then Adrian Gonzalez just hit a 3-run double with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd to tie it. One and 2.
So Lester says, okay, let's start over again. Except he's already thrown 57 pitches.
38 of those in the 1st. If Marlon Byrd makes the play in center field, much fewer than that. Willie was just out in front. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, if Marlon Byrd makes that catch, it's still a 24-pitch inning in the 1st. Then you had to tack on 14 more after the misplay. Just fouled it away. Still 1-2. And that was the count on Billy in the first inning, but he was able to work a walk. That was with 2 outs and nobody on. Francoeur singled. Giavotella reaching on the air by Bird. A run scored. And then Brian Pena hit the 2-run double to left center field. That was in and out of the glove of left fielder Cody Ross. Curveball stayed up. Billy makes Lester pay for it. Marlon Bird goes into a slide. And that holds Butler to a single. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. How would a Jeff Francoeur home run look for Miller Time later tonight?
Are you officially putting a call on him right now?
Yeah, he's due.
He is. Go ahead. Dial 8.
Francoeur singled in the first inning, so he's hit in 6 straight games. And he's batting .259.
He missed one in Minnesota by a foot. Hit off the padding. Left center.
Chop to Middlebrooks. Red Sox get the out at second base. Middlebrooks didn't give Pedroia a great feed. 1 out. Well, if you'd like to bring your dog out to Kauffman Stadium for a game, as we've had in the past, we'll have another Bark at the Park, presented by Bear K9 Advantix. It's Sunday, May 20th, and for just $25, you get a ticket for both you and your dog, a K9 bag dispenser, and a donation is made to Wayside Waifs. Royals.com/bark to register. That's the Royals and the Diamondbacks. Strike to Johnny Giavotella. What kind of a dog was that barking?
It's a Labradoodle.
Labradoodle?
That's right.
Okay.
Half lab and half poodle, and he's the wonder dog.
It was Giavotella who hit the line drive to center field in the first inning that Marlon Bird thought was sinking, but it was carrying, and he was able to get some leather on it, but unable to catch it. It was an error. Giavotella putting a good swing on a John Lester pitch in his first game back from AAA. Nice save by Saltalamacchia. It's 2-1.
Okay, on the second pitch, Giavotella saw it was his fastball, and he didn't miss it. Can't hit a ball better than that. It had some rise on it. A little backspin. A couple runs scored.
And now goes the other way, and that's well hit, but Sweeney fades back and makes the catch for the second out. How about a Sprint You Call It question for tonight? And we had a Twitter question. Joel joined us late in the game, and a fan wanted to know who we thought was going to lead the Royals in home runs this year. So we'll let the fans vote on that tonight. Billy Butler, Eric Hosmer, Alex Gordon, Mike Moustakas, or Jeff Francoeur. Text 432-432. The keyword is Royals, followed by a space and then A, B, C, D, or E. I believe you said Billy Butler last night.
I did.
Joel went with Mike Moustakas.
And I think you went with...
I went with Hosmer.
Haas.
Yep. And right now, Billy Butler has 6. Eric Hosmer second with 5. Gordon and Moustakas both have 4. 1-1 on Pena. 2-run double in the Royals' 3-run first inning.
Hey, Pena's looked good up there at the plate. He's not getting cheated. Only time he swings is lately it's been a ball that's out over the middle. He's hit the ball hard. He's hitting a hard 264. Hit the ball out some people in the New York series. But he's not jumping at the plate. And when you play, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, it's hard for timing. So it makes it extra difficult for a guy that doesn't have regular at-bats.
Now, you had that role for many years in your career. How did you keep your timing?
Well, it was different. National League for 5 years and the American League for 5 years. In the National League, you got 5 at-bats, and it was spread out the whole week. Much more difficult to hit for average and be successful as a pinch hitter. American League, you got 1 start a week. You got 4 at-bats in 1 game. So you had a lot more opportunity to do something with your average and timing with 4 straight at-bats in a game. So it wasn't easy.
Pena lines it to right, and again, Sweeney is right there, going into a slide on his knees. That's all for the Royals in the 3rd. Royals and Red Sox are tied at 3. Got 3 in the top of the 3rd with 2 outs, and on a 3-2 count, Bruce Chen gave up a 3-run double to Adrian Gonzalez. He was so close to getting out of that. He made some great pitches on David Ortiz in the at-bat before that.
Well, I think both the at-bats to David Ortiz earlier in the game, he really did a great job in setting them up. In fact, he locked him up with a fastball that really must have looked like 100 miles an hour after the other stuff he had thrown at him. And then in the second one, he drops his arm angle down and rises that fastball a little bit. So that's what makes Bruce Chen effective, is when he mixes things up effectively. Arm angles, takes a little off, adds a little bit to the off-speed pitches. I think that's his real key. And I think the more times guys see Bruce Chen, the better he gets.
Now, you can relate to Bruce Chen, Monty, because now, of course, he's left-handed, and you threw harder than he did, but you were creative at times, just like Bruce Chen is, and had several pitches.
And I felt the same way. The earlier that I could establish all of my pitches in a game, the more effective I was going to be.
Sorry, Rex, I cut you off.
No. I faced a lot of mostly lefties in my career, and hard throwers, soft throwers. And a soft thrower like him, you're almost better off looking for a certain type of off-speed pitch or just his fastball only, because you can get caught behind the fastball if you're up there, just looking for a fastball. It surprises you. So you're better off looking for soft stuff, in my opinion, facing a guy like Bruce. It's going to give you a fastball, but it's going to be out of the zone. It's not going to be too many times right down the middle. So I would belly up and take his changeup away.
Ross pulls it on the ground to Falou. Cody Ross is 0 for 2.
And Rex, really to that point, I know if I was in a situation, normally it's going to be a close ball game. If I was going to throw the fastball, it was normally going to be a fastball that's going to be away, because if you were guessing fastball in, middle in, you're going to do some damage. So if I'm going to come in, I oftentimes like to a lefty, I would throw my hard slider in. That way there was no chance for that fastball to leak back out over the plate. And I see that with Bruce Chen a lot. He really pitches inside well.
Especially in his first couple starts or so, when he got up to a great start to begin the year. And I think about the start against the Angels, where, I mean, he just pounded those right-hand batters. They couldn't get their arms extended.
I think when Bruce Chen is at his best, you'll see a guy standing over there about 15 rows back with a glove, and he's getting action all night long because he's pounding the inside part of the plate.
That is right on the painted grass. Jared Saltalamacchia goes into second base with a 1-out double. He's 1 for 2.
That base hit reminds me a little bit of the hits that Bruce gave up in the third inning that led to 3 runs.
Now, Saltalamacchia wasn't looking to pull that. That ball was right middle in, and he had an inside-out swing, so he probably was looking for a breaking ball there.
And that was very frustrating to me as a pitcher. You make a good pitch, and a guy just does enough to get wood on it, and he, oops, by the way, here it is right on the right field line. Now you're standing on second base.
And it brings up Marlon Byrd, who's singled to lead off the third inning. And then Ryan Sweeney singled. With 1 out, Dustin Pedroia singled, and the Red Sox had the bases loaded. But as we just showed you, Bruce Chen was able to strike out David Ortiz. He was 3-2 with Adrian Gonzalez, who hit the 3-run double to tie it. And that just got Marlon Byrd on the leg. It may not have even hit him. It just might have hit his pants, because it still ended up in Brian Pena's glove.
I guess that's the advantage of blousing your uniform in the way the players do nowadays.
It's in the rule book. It's part of the body.
Rex, back when we played, everything was tight.
Yeah,
Polyester, that tight polyester.
Yeah, I remember that. And in old timers games, when you wore the baggy stuff, it felt really weird. Going from those tight knit pants that we had to those baggy things, you felt like you were in your 90s.
And I remember how heavy they would be by the end, because they were wool, and they'd be just soaking wet at the end, and they were heavy.
How about this luxury for the Red Sox? Their number 9 hitter is hitting .367, Ryan Sweeney, and this is a guy that the White Sox were hoping that would turn into a star, then the Oakland A's, and now getting a shot with the Red Sox.
Well, he's a guy that's always shown promise. Sometimes change of scenery gives him that opportunity. He's taking advantage of it.
And he's hitting .364 with runners in scoring position. But Bruce is baffling him here. Had him backed off of that fastball again. You can see he's really using different arm angles at certain times, key times. Effective.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of panic early in spring training when Bruce Chen was not using those various arm angles. He was getting hit around a lot, and it seemed like once he finally broke that variety out of the bag, he became Bruce Chen again at the end of spring training. And even though the results are not real good tonight with regards to his the hits and the runs, here in the 4th inning, I think he's throwing the ball much more effectively than we see at times, especially from the guys in rotation right now.
Well, it's a lot like Duffy's start last night. He's keeping his team in the game. Sure, they gave him a 3-0 lead, and he gave up a double to Adrian Gonzalez with the bases loaded. But this is a game. This is the kind of games that are huge to end a series, and especially for the Royals to try to get their first winning homestand is huge for these guys.
Well, I think get a win here tonight, get a win in the homestand, and have a nice off day. How nice would that be?
Sweeney had a bad swing, snaps at his bat as he heads back to the third base dugout, and that's 5 strikeouts for Bruce Chen in fewer than 4 innings.
Okay, watch his booty fly out. Bruce tricked him.
Rex, that's what we call the east-west swing, isn't it?
That's right. His booty went one way, and the swing went the other. That's off balance.
It's nice on the dance floor, but not very good in the batter's box.
Nope. And he might get a couple chuckles when he goes in that Red Sox dugout. Maybe a couple.
Bruce has thrown 74 pitches. Avila singled against him in the first and then flied out to left in the third. Off the end of the bat, a lot of spin. Pulls it in, throws out Aviles. Monty, thanks for stopping by.
Always nice to come up for a 0 on the board.
Stay hot, Monty.
Metro locations and now open in Brookside. Visit us online at PaneraKansas.com. And by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. 3-3 tie. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Irving Falou will lead off against John Lester as we go to Joel Goldberg.
And we get a look at him today, second game playing, but this time at third base. Ryan, I asked him what his best position is, and he said his best position is probably second base. We saw him at shortstop the other day, and third base, he said, is something that he's comfortable with. He said he played a lot of third base last year because Mike Aviles was down at shortstop. Yamaica Navarro, after he came over from Mike Aviles, was down there quite a bit. So they had some other guys playing shortstop, so he played a lot of third last year. This season more short, but bottom line, he is just happy wherever they want to put him.
And when the Royals put him in, so far as a starter, he has given them at least one extra base hit. He's at second base with nobody out to begin the fourth inning.
Okay, this guy, he's a player. He's a big league utility player. I think he could be an everyday second baseman as fundamentally sound as he is. Okay, but his hands are very loose. I watched him and his knuckles and everything. He's wiggling his fingers up there. That's a sign of a guy who's loose and is ready to react on contact here. Super slow-mo. Hands automatically tighten up once you start swinging the bat. But before you swing, the more loose your hands are, the quicker you can react. Falou.
That's his first major league double. Now Chris Getz going to try and at least run him over to third base. So situational hitting coming into play. Getz behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes in the second inning, had a nice swing and got a ground ball in between third and short.
Okay, if it's a clean sacrifice, why not go ahead and bunt the first pitch you see? Get it out of the way. He pulled it back. The sooner you can get that thing down, easier you are. And it's not easy. Bunting a guy, especially throws mid-90s fastball, that's the hardest pitch to bunt. Now, the pitcher does the batter a favor if he throws a little breaking ball. Those are easier to see and to get on top of and put them down. Right here, you've got to get the job done.
2 balls and 1 strike.
He's an excellent bunter. I like his technique. Barrel above the hands. That type of angle is what gets the ball down. When your bat's level, you're going to foul a lot of balls off. Better have that barrel above the hands technique. And that's what he does.
Three and 1.
Does he put a butcher boy on? 3 and 1. Pull the corners in and then pull it back and slash. Or does he stay with the sacrifice bunt?
He's going to stay with the bunt, and he bunts it back to Lester, but his play is to first.
Great job.
Falou to third with 1 out.
Getz had a sacrifice in last night's game. It's the little things you do. Again, same as last night. Just get it down. Good barrel above the hands. Slight bend to his knees. Lester might have had to play it with Falou, but why force it? Look at this barrel. See, the barrel is up above the hands. That gets the ball down. His fingers are behind the bat. Keep the fingers behind the bat so in case the ball hits there, it doesn't get your finger.
And now Boston brings the infield in. Ball 1 to Escobar. Reached on a force out in the second inning. Just 1 for 8 in the series. Red Sox have to be alive for a squeeze play here.
You know, Escobar, he had a rip. But the biggest hole in the diamond is right here. Look at that. Look at that lane. Trying to hit it right back up the middle. Great Rod Carew used to teach us that when he was the hitting coach for the Angels. When the infield's in, fellas, hit it right back where it came from.
And there it is, a base hit into right center. Royals regain the lead. Escobar trying for 2, and he's in with a hustling double.
What a great AB. And he wasn't settling for first base because he knows that you can't anticipate anything in baseball. He took off out of the box. Oh, went with that pitch masterfully. And he just keeps going. He says, all right, that's a little tweener, in-betweener. He hit the inside part of the base, and they would have had to make a perfect throw to get him, and they didn't. Go ahead, Esky.
Fouled away by Dyson, who is grounded out and struck out.
That was a good, short, quick swing. Same approach. Hit it where it's pitched.
Throws on a fastball, 0-2. Ten doubles for Alcides Escobar. Only Mike Moustakas has more. To short, and Aviles gets Dyson by a step. 2 down. And now Alex Gordon gets another shot at John Lester. He is 0 for 2 tonight, and now 0 for 11 in his career. Alex has had a very productive homestand with 8 hits in the Yankees Red Sox series, and he's been on base 12 times. Scored 7 runs, and he has driven in 4. And he'll take that He'll take it for the team, because that means Billy Butler comes up with 2 on and 2 out.
Okay, it looks like that caught a little bit of his jersey, maybe some rib. Yeah, that got some rib.
So they're working in the Boston bullpen, and ever since the first inning, John Lester has had pitch count trouble. A 38-pitch first inning. And now moving up on 90 pitches in the game, and we're only in the 4th. Billy Butler walked in the first inning and then singled in the 3rd. At the knees over the outside corner, 0-1.
Similar situation last night against these Red Sox. And we'll show you what he did.
And that's over the inside, and it's 0-2.
Okay, now this situation 0-2, it's a little bit different now. Lester, he's going to try to get him to swing and miss at his pitch. So Billy's going to have to stretch out his strike zone a little with the runner out there in scoring position. Does not want to get called out without swinging.
Fouls it away, still no balls and 2 strikes. And Billy has been behind all night against Lester, but it hasn't held him down at all. He was down 1-2 in the first and worked a walk, and he was down 1-2 in the 3rd when he singled to left center.
He's a .414 hitter with runners in scoring position. The best outside of Chris Getz, it's hit .467.
Just outside, Lester was walking toward the dugout. He wanted that call. And Jeff Nelson, I think for the most part, has had a pretty pitcher-friendly strike zone. So Billy, once again, down in the count 1-2. So he's got Lester right where he wants him. And Lester is going to take a few more moments before delivering the next pitch. He might be boiling on the inside after not getting the call. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Okay, in the first inning, they had runners in scoring position. And we mentioned how with 2 outs and runners out there, Lester's given up a .417 average. So similar situation here. See if Lester can make a mistake and Billy can capitalize. See Marlon Byrd at the top of the screen up there. You did. He's playing a little bit to the opposite field in the outfield.
Got him with a fastball away. Royals get a run to regain the lead. Irving Falou with a double. Escobar gets him home.
You're in the crowd, and we heard Ryan and Rex talking about the day off for Eric Hosmer, but that doesn't mean he's not putting in a lot of work. Usually he takes 37 swings during batting practice and maybe about 30 in the indoor cage. Yesterday, even though he played, he took an additional 200 swings with Kevin Seitzer, and he was planning on taking an additional 300 swings with Seitzer in the cage today. They're not trying to rebuild his swing. The swing is fine, but they're trying to just get him used to some different situations, different counts, situational hitting, and just trying to formulate a better game plan. Both Hosmer and Seitzer believe he is very, very close, and Eric telling me that his mindset is fine, a little frustrating not to be able to help the team, but his teammates have picked him up. He thinks it's coming very soon, and he also said about the 5th or 6th inning around now, he'll get a little more cage work in case they need him late in the game. Ryan?
I'm going to say that he's helped his team win games with his glove more than his bat, and it'll just be a matter of time before the bat gets winning some games for him.
Well, he's hitting 181, but he has the second most RBIs for the Royals. Gordon into the corner, up against the wall to take a base hit away from Pedroia.
Okay, that ball had a lot of hang time on it that Pedroia hit, so Gordon could measure it up. And he's been good at that last year and this year. So he measures it right on the wall. Got his hand there, just his right hand, just to kind of brace him against the wall. And well, you don't want to hit it to him out there. Try to hit it to the other fielders. He'll rob you.
Bruce Chen has already struck out David Ortiz twice tonight. Second time with the bases loaded and one out in the third, and now Bruce is ahead 0-2. Royals had him played perfectly. David Ortiz standing in disbelief outside the batter's box. He thought he had a base hit to center field on an 0-2 pitch, but Alcides Escobar was lined up perfectly.
That's why they play him to shift over there, because they believe he's going to pull more balls. And sometimes you hit into it.
And now Adrian Gonzalez. Left center field. Alex is there. That's the inning. Bruce Chen getting some help from his defense and needing just 7 pitches to get the Red Sox in the 5th. to the game for every family fun day Sunday. The kids will enjoy face painters, balloon artists, kids entertainment by Radio Disney, and much more. Sundays at the ballpark is your family destination. Go to Royals.com/Sunday for more information and for tickets. Jeff Francoeur followed by Johnny Giavotella and Brian Pena coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Francoeur singled and scored in the 1st inning, 1 for 2, and has hit in 6 games in a row. John Lester is at 95 pitches, just 3 pitches into the 5th inning, so he's still paying the price for a 38-pitch 1st inning.
That Royals hitters doing a good job. They're being selective, fouling off some borderline pitches, going deep in some counts.
Royals scored 3 in that long 1st inning, all unearned runs because of a Marlon Byrd error in center field. Red Sox tied the game in the 3rd, and the Royals went ahead in the 4th on Escobar's double. Who will lead the Royals in home runs this year? Our Sprint You Call It question. 39% agreeing with Rex. 25% going with Eric Hosmer. Mike Moustakas 3rd with 18%. As a curveball is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground to 3rd. Nice big hop for Middlebrooks, and he slings it over to Gonzalez for out number 1. Time for our AT&T trivia question for the night. Who holds the Royals record for most home runs in a season by a designated hitter? Royals record for home runs in a season is Steve Balboni. That's 36 home runs in 1985. 0-1 to Johnny Giavotella, who is 0 for 2, but 2 lineouts, or 1 line out, and then another line drive that should have been caught in center field by Marlon Byrd, but it was off of his glove for an error, and a run scored. Curveball makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnny Giavotella hit .247 last year for the Royals in 46 games, and then we found out at the end of the year that he had been bothered by a right hip injury so bad that he had to have surgery. A little bit inside, 2-2. And for Giavotella, a right-hand batter, his right hip would be his back leg. That's where hitters get a lot of their power. He pulled to Middlebrooks out of his glove, but he recovers in time to get Giavotella 2 down.
Wow. Now, they said he's got a good arm, and that showed it there, because after it fell out of his glove, he didn't get any momentum going towards first base. This was all arm and staying on top of the throw, staying on top of his arm angle. Watch this. Catches it, drops it. It's right on top and gets rid of it quickly. Got him by a step.
Brian Pena takes ball 1. He had a 2-run double in the 1st inning that was almost caught by Cody Ross in left center field. And then Brian lined out to right in his 2nd at bat. 2 balls and no strikes.
Brian Pena of Cuban descent says there are 12 players that are all playing in American League and National League. There are 12 Cubans, and he said he played Little League with all of them except for 3. Some of them are the youngest guys to come in, like Cespedes, a few of the guys that just got here. but they're all connected. Kendrys Morales, they spend time with one another. They share Cuban food whenever they're in the same city with one another. And instead of fraternizing on the field, they go to lunch and hang out before the games.
3 ground balls to Middlebrooks and 3 outs. That's John Lester's quickest inning of the night. The Royals have scored 4 runs for him. That isn't a lot of runs normally, but for Bruce Chen, that's a mountain of runs.
Oh, so, you know, being the professional that he is, he's not going to use that for an excuse, but he's got his work cut out for him the rest of the way here. Now, he's suspended some pitches, wants to keep the team in the game, but keep the ball down and utilize the defense. He's been doing that. His rhythm's been good. Continue to stay right there. He's got a lead, and like you mentioned, he's got runs. Shocked the house.
Our Time Warner Cable pitch speed comparison. Bruce up to 90, John Lester 96 on the Stadium Radar Gun. You can get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. How many times do you see it happen? A guy fields 3 ground balls in 1/2 inning and he leads off the next one. It's astonishing how many times that happens. Hit that one off of his knuckles.
Well, you never know about Will Middlebrooks because he hits the ball down the right field line, he hits down the left field line, he hits it at center field. He's a guy who hits it wherever it's pitched.
And he grounds it to Escobar. Middlebrooks is 0 for 3. Well, we hope you'll bring your kids to the largest educational field trip in town. It's School Day at the K. Thursday, May 17th. The kids will learn about the weather from Fox 4 meteorologist Mike Thompson and the rest of the weather crew. It starts at 10 a.m. and then the Royals will play the Orioles at 1:10. So you don't want to miss out on that. All schools and homeschooled students can take advantage of ticket deals at royals.com/schoolday. Cody Ross is grounded out twice against Bruce Chen. One and one. Old foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up to this point, the Royals pitching has gotten a little bit better every night against the Red Sox. In game 1, Red Sox with 11 runs, 16 hits, 4 home runs. Last night, 4 runs, 9 hits, no home runs. And now tonight, so far, 3 runs, 6 hits, and no home runs. And another thing to keep an eye on, and we've followed this through the Yankees series, when you have teams with experienced hitters with power that are very patient, you want to make sure that walks aren't a big issue. Walks were an issue in game 1 that the Red Sox won. They were not last night, and the Royals won. Getz was guarding the middle, and Cody Ross grounds out for the 3rd time, 2 outs.
Defense is an important factor for any team if you're going to win. Pitching and defense. Chris Getz, he's not going anywhere at second base. He's been very solid out there. He's playing the position the way Ned wants him to play it. But Gio Vitella up here, he said Gio is going to be a right-handed hitter off the bench. It's Getz's job. He's been doing a good one.
Her ball is a little high to Jared Saltalamacchia. Struck out his first time and then doubled off the foul line in right field in the 4th. One and one. One ball, 2 strikes. Bruce Chen is 1 strike away from giving the Royals 6 innings tonight. Now, normally that doesn't sound like a major accomplishment, but to this point, the Royals starters have pitched the fewest innings of any staff in the major leagues. They are averaging 4 2/3 innings per start. Very high into left center field. Dyson circles underneath and makes the catch. Bruce Chen has retired the last 8 Red Sox. 4-3 Royals. Bottom of the 4th inning, Irving Falou with his 3rd major league hit. It was a double to lead off the 4th against John Lester. 2 batters later, Alcides Escobar doubled him home to give the Royals a 4-3 lead, and now they come up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Our contestant in the Sonic Slam inning is Tequila Ray from Kansas City, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Tequila wins $2,800. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Tequila wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. And here's Clay Mortensen taking over for the Red Sox in a Chevy call to the bullpen.
All right, he's a tall drink of water. 6'4", 185 pounds. He's got a sinker. Good hard sinker. Upper 80s, low 90s. Slider and a changeup. Ground ball pitcher, and Falou's a switch hitter. Likes to find the holes. At least so far early in his career. Doesn't quite have Middlebrooks stats, but he's hitting.
And for some guys, you can relate to this. It's just getting the right opportunity. I asked a member of the Royals front office recently, where has Irving Falou been short? Where, in his skill set that has kept him out of the big leagues in his first 949 major league games. And they really didn't get a straight answer because there wasn't one thing that really stood out. A lot of it had to do with timing and an opportunity. And he hits that ball hard, but right to Sweeney in right field. So Falou is 1 for 3. Let's answer our AT&T trivia question for tonight. What is the Royals' record for most home runs in a season by a designated hitter?
I'm going to guess Chili Davis.
Good guess. Very good guess. He had a 30 home run season with the Royals?
We talk. We're friends. Yes, and he told me that he had a big year with the Royals.
And it was his only year here. 1997. Congratulations, Rex. You get a free phone call from AT&T.
How about a free chili dog?
Getz jolts it to right, but again it's Sweeney a couple of strides in front of the warning track, so Getz is 1 for 2.
Got a free chili dog for Chili Dog Davis.
Well, if Tequila Ray wins the Sonic Slam inning, we can take you to Sonic for a chili dog.
I don't think that I'll be a top priority of Tequila's, but with 2 outs, they're going to have to get some guys on and get a big hit here, though. We'll see what happens with Escobar. Try to get a little 2-out lightning going. They are up by a run.
And it was his double a couple of innings ago against John Lester that drove in Irving Falou to put the Royals in front.
Mortensen. A lot of arms and legs coming flying at you. It's deception.
Aviles comes in and throws out Escobar. So Mortensen comes on and pitches a scoreless 6th. And at the end of 6th, the Royals still lead by 1. The best deals on new Fords are at thoroughbredford.com. By Steel, find a helpful servicing Steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. By AT&T Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by the State of Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Beautiful night in Kansas City, and even prettier with Bruce Chen pitching with a lead and into the 7th inning. So Bruce trying to go 7 for the 3rd time this year. He went 7 against the Tigers on April the 17th and against Toronto on April 23rd. No walks in those 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. That is his 97th pitch. And it's 1-1 to Marlon Byrd at the plate. A single, a run scored. He's been hit by a pitch, but in the field he committed a critical error in the Royals' 3-run first inning. And his bat shattered to pieces. And look at Irving Falou.
Show those skills, Irving, as he flew in the air. This was nice. Look at the acrobatic action we got on the left side. Oh, that was a page out of Escobar's book. Wow. He knows what to do when he's off balance, going to his left, playing third. Sweet play.
And a big play behind Bruce Chen, who has 6 1/3 innings now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Sweeney. Aaron Crow is warmed up and ready to go if he gets the call. Bruce is right at 100 pitches. And a curveball, and Getz has to charge in and gets it over to Butler in time. 2 down. So we saw a good defensive play from Irving Falou in this inning, and an excellent play from Alex Gordon in the 5th. Our Home Depot doing more on defense.
Every night we see something like this from Gordon. He's got skills, no question.
That was against Dustin Pedroia leading off the 5th inning. Bruce Chen is finishing strong. He has retired 10 in a row. Mike Avila singled in the 1st inning. He is 1 for 3. His season high for pitches is 108. Left field, and Alex will have to play it on a bounce. And now will Ned Yost allow Bruce Chen to face Dustin Pedroia? I don't think so. He's out of the dugout. So Bruce Chen, if the change is made, isn't able to go 7. But he turns in a solid start against the team with the 2nd best batting average in the league and the 2nd most runs. So a Chevy call to the bullpen. Aaron Crow comes in, and Bruce Chen goes to the dugout and will receive a much-deserved applause from Royals fans. The Royals have a 4-3 lead to the top of the 7th inning. Remember, you can follow the Royals with the MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Just text @BAT to 31826 or visit Royals.com for details. Aaron Crow, 15th appearance of the year, and he gets Dustin Pedroia on one pitch. If Dyson can bring it down. A scoreless 7th inning for the Boston Red Sox, and a nice outing for Bruce Chen. We welcome you to Lambert's Cafe in Sykeston. People who visit Lambert's Cafe for the first time are amazed at the generous portions. Lambert's is known for the throwed rolls, where the waiters will throw the dinner rolls across the dining room at the guest. Started in 1976 by Norman Lambert at the original location on a busy night. Norman couldn't get through the crowd, and one of the customers yelled to him to throw it at the customer, and with that, the only home of the throwed rolls was born.
Well, if you have bad hands and you drop it, it's a wasted roll.
That's right. High fives for Bruce Chen as the defense comes off the field. 6 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, no walks, and now the Royals would like to add to their lead. This is the 2nd inning for Clayton Mortensen. Royals scored 4 runs against John Lester. That's headline news around here. 3 of those runs were unearned. So the big item, aside from having the lead, is that they were able to knock Lester out after 5 innings. Lester did retire 5 of the last 6 hitters that he faced, and now Mortensen, after a 1-2-3-6, gets the top of the order, and Dyson pulls it on the ground to Gonzalez. Gerard is 0 for 4.
Before each game, in case you're not able to join us before right in the opens of the game, we always give a Kia scouting report for success for that night's pitcher for the Royals. Okay, and this was Bruce Chen's. Work ahead, he did that. Got through the first time through the order, and so far, we don't know this last one here for sure, but we hope it's a winner and makes a winning homestand.
Royals are also trying to win back-to-back games at home for the first time. A win tonight would mean the 0-10 homestand would be followed by a 4-3 road trip and a 4-3 homestand. It'd be nice to get a 12-game winning streak to offset the 12-game losing streak, but it is more reasonable to just start pecking away one series at a time.
One game at a time, one day at a time. A lot like life. But I got to tell you, in baseball, when you're under 500, you creep your way back to 500, however long it takes. And once you get to 500, then you start looking around. So Mortensen, he's working that changeup on Gordon. It's a good one, especially with the deceptive legs flying, arms flying. It's not an easy pitch to pick up.
Alex pulls it into the corner. That's his first hit tonight and his 9th hit of the homestand. Runner at second base with 1 out.
Okay, Mortensen had success with throwing changeups to him, and then on his 4th pitch, he left one up. He's a sinker baller. Ball didn't sink. Okay, Foxmo. To show you, hold his hands in.
And now Bob McClure, the former Royals pitching coach, is going to go out and talk strategy with Mortensen and catcher Sal Talamacchia on what to do with Billy Butler. And Bob McClure for years saw what Billy Butler can do firsthand and was reminded of that again last night when Billy hit the 3-run home run late in the game. So you have a hitter coming up who hit a 3-run home run last night. He leads the team in home runs. He leads the team in RBIs by a pretty wide margin, but there's an open base. And on deck is a potentially dangerous hitter who had a big season last year, but Jeff Francoeur is without a home run so far. Ball 1.
Well, with 1 out, you would think that maybe McClure said, be careful with him. Try to get him to swing out of the strike zone. He doesn't do that very often. But first base is open.
One ball and 1 strike. Billy with a big swing, but out in front of a changeup, 1-2. Billy starting at first base tonight for the first time this year. He played 11 games at first base last season, 11 out of his 159 games. Eric Hosmer out of the starting lineup for the first time tonight. And the plan going into this year was for Billy Butler to get more starts at first base. Mortensen is off the mound, throws out Billy Butler. Alex Gordon moves up to third base, 2 outs.
Okay, he's a sinker baller. He's going to do that a lot, hit the top. Takes his time. Makes a good throw. Didn't want to throw that away.
Jeff Francoeur singled and scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Ball 1. has gone 116 at-bats this year without a home run. And his career high is 134 at-bats without a home run. Two and 0.
Extra run sure would help a lot against this highly potent Boston offense. Any way he can.
Two balls, one strike. Royals scored 3 in the first inning. They were all unearned runs. Boston got 3 in the third. Royals with a single run in the fourth. That's the difference in the game right now. And Alcides Escobar double. And Alex Gordon at third base with 2 outs. Trying to give the Royals a 2-run lead going into the 8th. Aaron Crow got the final out of the 7th. And will take the mound in the 8th. Trying to hold it and get it to Broxton. Center field. Marlon Byrd got a late break, but he's back to the track to make the catch and end the inning. Still a 1-run Royals lead at the end of 7.
Checking in for some defense as Kansas City leads Boston 4-3. Panera takes us around the league as Brandon Morrow continues his great start. 5-2 the final. Texas and Baltimore postponed. Tampa Bay 4-1 behind Matt Joyce up late in that one. Chicago all over Cleveland. Royals head to U.S. Cellular Field for the weekend. Then it's L.A. on top of Minnesota. Albert Pujols a pair of hits, and Detroit and Seattle just underway. Ryan?
All right, Joel, thank you. A line drive right to Gerard Dyson in center field, and that's the second time in the last 2 at-bats that David Ortiz has lined out up the middle. It was to Escobar at short in the 5th, and that's a big out for Crow to begin the 8th.
All right. He retired Pedroia on 1 pitch, and now the second pitch, he gets 2 outs in 2 pitches. The reason you're seeing these guys swing early is because they know he has a nasty slider. They don't want to see it. They're looking fastball early, although Gonzalez wasn't.
No balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez with 1 swing tied the game at 3 in the 3rd with a 3-run double to score Byrd, Sweeney, and Pedroia. And a 3-pitch strikeout as Crow gets him with a hard slider down and in. Ryan Pena tags him out, 2 down. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. We had a moment of silence before the first pitch tonight. Carl Bean, the public address announcer of the Boston Red Sox, passed away earlier today in a car accident at the age of 59. And this has been a year of celebration, the 100th year of Fenway Park, but a day of mourning for Red Sox fans, the Red Sox family. Our condolences out to them, as well as Carl Bean's family, a longtime Boston radio personality. This was his 10th season as the voice of Fenway Park. Got a chance to do a couple of luncheons with him when we were in Boston. Just a great guy, big voice. I mean, you could hear him down the street. And so trips to Fenway Park for us and for fans in New England will never be the same.
It's too bad. Our condolences for sure.
Right field. Francoeur is there. So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Royals still hanging on to a 4-3 lead.
Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live. In the last 5 games total against John Lester, the Royals scored 3 runs. They had 3 in the first inning alone tonight. We'll talk about that. Bruce Chen returning back to form and preview Friday's matchup of Felipe Paulino and Gavin Floyd. That highlights, reaction, and much more coming up after the game. Ryan?
Thanks, Joel. And without getting ahead of ourselves, we're all going to be looking forward to seeing if Felipe Paulino can pitch on Friday like he did against the New York Yankees in his first start back from the disabled list. 6 scoreless innings. Johnny Giavotella, he is 0 for 3 and hits that one just foul off the right field line. He hit a line drive to center field in the first inning that was misplayed by Marlon Byrd and resulted in a run. He lined to right in the 3rd, so 2 line drives to the outfield. And then in the 5th inning, he grounded out to 3rd base.
And the designated hitter is not what he's used to doing, sitting in between at bats. but he's looked good.
Going the other way again, and it's 1-2. A player that Johnny Giavotella has been compared to, mostly because of size and grit and the position they play, is Dustin Pedroia. And both were second-round draft picks. Pedroia out of Arizona State and Giavotella out of the University of New Orleans. That was in the 2008 draft. And Pedroia is certainly a player that Giavotella likes to follow.
Especially if Giavotella can win 2 Gold Gloves, that would make him comparable.
And a Rookie of the Year, and an MVP, and a World Series.
2.
Changeup. Boy, Mortenson's got a good one. He's had several Royals tonight convinced they were getting a fastball.
All right, in Brian's last at-bat, I was talking about his Cuban connection with all the 12 Cuban-born players in the league. Now, that guy there, Eddie Rodriguez, he's Cuban as well, and a very, very good third baseman. He wanted to make sure that his good friend out in South Florida, he's thinking about you, Ali Bolina. I want to give you a shout out. Works hard. First base coach Alex Ochoa tonight for the Red Sox. He's Cuban descent.
Ross with a few steps to make the catch on Brian Pena, who's 1 for 4, had a 2-run double back in that 3-run first. And now Irving Falou as we look at our AT&T Uverse reverse replay.
All right, check out the Rook. We've seen him play shortstop the other day, and now that acrobatic play he made at third base was pretty nice.
Mentioned when he came up last time that there really isn't one thing that has held him back except being a middle infielder. Teams are looking for exceptional range, and if there's one thing that's held Irving Falou back all these years, is that he really doesn't have one great tool, but he has several very good tools which have gotten a little bit better every year.
Those guys make good big league players. He's fundamentally sound. You play that many games in the minors, you know how to play.
And another base hit for Falou. One of his outs was a line out to right, so he's had 3 good swings. He has 2 hits. And as a big leaguer now, he is 4 out of 8.
That'll work. He knows his ability. He's not a power hitter, so he's going to try to put the ball in play with that nice controlled swing. See, that's really good balance right there. Balance is good, head position. He stayed with it, and you call that swing. He stuck it. He stayed on it.
Another thing you look for in a middle infielder, at least as far as skills go, would be above average speed. And again, Irving Falou is someone who runs well but doesn't have blazing speed. Gets up the left field line. That is down. Falou to third. Eddie Rodriguez is going to send him. Aviles' throw is right on the mark, and that will end the inning. To the 9th, Broxton coming on, trying to protect a 1-run lead. 4th, and as promised earlier, it's Miller time, presented by Miller Lite.
Yes, you know what? He went with this pitch so well. But you know, he hits first base and he turned it gear on and he got him a leg double on a challenge. He challenged the guy, had to make a good throw, and he didn't do it. So way to go, Eski. Falou, have a night.
Jonathan Broxton. So on for his 7th save. Saved the game last night. Faced 3 and retired 3. That was in a 2-run game. He got Aviles, Pedroia, and Ortiz. Tonight, it's Cody Ross, the number 6 hitter, followed by Jared Saltalamacchia and Marlon Byrd. Ross is 0 for 3, but against Broxton, he is 2 out of 3.
Okay, mid-90s fastball we've seen from Broxton. Slider. Sometimes he'll throw a curveball.
Royals tonight have received 6 2/3 innings from Bruce Chen. Allowed 3 runs and an inning and a third from Aaron Crow. Crow faced 4 and retired 4. Since scoring the 3 runs in the third to tie the game, the Red Sox only have 2 hits since that 3rd inning. And Bruce Chen and Aaron Crow have combined to retire 14 of the last 15 Red Sox hitters, handing it off to Broxton.
That's what good pitching will do. And a little bit of run support Bruce hasn't received.
1-2.
It's an off day tomorrow. Some guys getting some work in.
We hope.
Yes, but those are the 2 long guys. I don't think Ed would use them in this situation.
Maybe not in this situation, because we hope the game ends in this situation.
Pena just couldn't glove that foul tip.
Two and two. Broxton will get the right-hand hitter in Ross, a switch hitter in Saltalamacchia, and then a right-hand batter in Marlon Byrd. There's Saltalamacchia, who has a double in 3 at-bats tonight. And a base hit into right field as Ross goes the other way. So that makes him 3 out of 4 in his career against Jonathan Broxton.
Broxton went away from that hard fastball and gave him a slider out over the middle he can handle. So he'll be pinch ran for.
It'll be Darnell McDonald, who started the first 2 games in left field.
Three outs at the end of the game are the toughest 3 outs there are. No question. Holding a run lead, it's not easy. But Broxton so far has done pretty well.
Saltalamacchia 0 for 1 in the past against Broxton. Outside with ball one. McDonald has one stolen base, and he's been thrown out once. That's in 23 games. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'm thinking Bobby Valentine put McDonald in just to get a little more overall speed in case the ball's hitting the gap or something. I don't think he's in there to steal.
Outside, 3-0.
That pitch can go either way tonight from Jeff Nelson. I've seen him call a few strikes on there and a few balls. Missed by much.
There's a strike, 3-1. Six saves for Broxton, including 5 in a row. Sliced into the corner and out of play.
It's Jerry Royster, 17-year big leaguer.
First year as the Red Sox third base coach, and you mentioned Alex Ochoa earlier tonight. First year as first base coach. Bobby Valentine's new coaching staff, which includes former Royal pitching coach Bob McClure.
Go right after him.
He walked him, 2 on, nobody out.
You know, Royster, he's going to have a little chat with Marlon Byrd here. With nobody out. See if Valentine asks Byrd to try to sacrifice if he can. Really difficult to try to bunt mid-90s fastball. A lot can happen. He can pop it up or miss it. But Roxton's got to get in that strike zone early. Guy on deck, Ryan Sweeney, he's their last place hitter tonight, but he's hitting 360.
Marlon Byrd does not have a sacrifice bunt this year with the Cubs, where he started, or with the Red Sox. And he only has 1 sacrifice bunt in the last 3 seasons. But he squares around, and it's going to be a foul ball.
Man, I'll tell you, after getting hit in the face last year, and they're going to ask him to square around, and now that hits his hand. This really takes a lot of courage to get in there and do that right there. You know, he got hit last year. That was ugly. So let's see where this gets him. Looks like it got him in the forearm a little bit, maybe in the wrist. Maybe our super slow motion Foxmo camera will show us.
Not there.
You know, Bobby Valentine is saying that his hand was off the bat when it got hit, so they're hoping that.
Or maybe they think that. I saw Bobby Valentine motioning as if he pulled the bat back. Now, a bunt is like a swing. If you swing and you get hit by a pitch, it's not ruled a hit batter. If you offer at it, or if you square around as a bunt and it hits you, So he was in the act of pulling the bat back.
But Jeff Nelson, he called a foul ball right away, and now we're going to get back into this action here. We'll see.
So, in the estimation of Jeff Nelson, the bat was still out in front of the plate in a bunt position when he was hit.
Okay, Hosmer is in, Fallou's in, but he's a little conscious of McDonald at third. Getz at second base is coming in cheating a little bit in case he's got to cover first. They got to get an out here, regardless.
How badly do you think he wants to square around now after what happened? Maybe try and pitch him up if you can and see if he'll pop it in the air. That doesn't look like a guy who's comfortable squaring around.
No, and you mentioned it, when you haven't bunted one time in 3 years outside of batting practice, it's a big challenge. Bird's not afraid. He's a baseball player.
And where is that pitch? 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's right where he wants to be. That's a perfect strike, in my estimation.
And in the estimation of Fox Tracks. Fox Tracks, though, is set up in front of home plate, so it might appear in Fox Tracks at the front of the plate, but in Jeff Nelson's mind, when it crossed the plate, it was low. They're going to ask him to bunt. He gets it down. Hosmer looks to third, but he'll throw over to Getz. So Marlon Byrd hangs in there, and he advances McDonald to third and Saltalamacchia up to second.
Great touch by Marlon Byrd. He's asked to do the job, and he does it. Hosmer says, we just need to get an out. So no try to force something at third base. McDonald, who runs well. So Ned Yost's going to come out. They're going to have a little talk here about what they want to do with first base open and a pretty good hitter up. Okay, Ned asked them what they wanted to do there. Did he want to pitch to him or not? I mean, I think Broxton said, I want to go get him. So they're not going to put him on, if my lip reading is accurate.
And it was. Brian Sweeney has never faced Jonathan Broxton. He's a .359 hitter this year. Ball 1 down and away. This is his first start in the series. The Royals went with Jonathan Sanchez in game 1, Danny Duffy in game 2, and Bobby Valentine left the left-hand batter on the bench, and then he got to start tonight against Bruce Chen. Two 2-0.
Fans might be getting a little restless, but probably no one more restless than Bruce Chen. Good for his first W.
And he goes with a slider. Oh, good command of that pitch. Just missing with his fastball.
Hey, why not try something else? Pena put down a different sign. Good spot.
Royals bullpen in a 6-4 win last night. Picked up Danny Duffy. 4 2/3 scoreless innings. Second and third, 1 out. On the corner. So that's the first borderline call that Broxton has got. It's 2-2.
And when you got your closer in there that throws that hard, you'd expect him to get a big strikeout when he needs it, and this is a situation right here.
Two. Mike Aviles is on deck. A single, a walk, and a sac bunt. And now a 3-2 pitch. And Sweeney fouls it away, so he went back to the slider.
Okay, if Sweeney's thinking's right, he's thinking, you know, the pressure's not on me, it's on Broxton. He's going to try to guide something out there.
Royals think he's going to hit the ball the other way. Gordon is over near the line, and Dyson is toward left center field. And he stays back on the slider and falls it back to the screen. Hasn't really been able to throw a good hard slider that has been down. He threw one that was called a strike, and then the last two have ended up in the heart of the plate.
Well, Brian Sweeney, he's a hitter. He's hitting 364 with runners in scoring position coming in. His batting average coming in was 360, so he's a guy that's looking to drive in some runs. But see if Broxton can pull out a pitch here.
So there's the shift in the outfield, leaving center field, straight away center field, wide open. Fouled away, a little better slider. Now, if you're Sweeney, you've seen 3 sliders in a row. And you have to be asking yourself, will he go with 4 sliders in a row? And is he locked in the slider, and can Broxton throw a fastball by him?
How about a letter high fastball? He swings and misses.
And that slider is lined to left. Alex dives. He's got it. No tag.
Gordon got a late break on that. He didn't quite move in on contact. And, you know, we've seen him all year so far in this early season making brilliant catches coming in, but he hesitated just a little bit before coming in. He took a step back, and McDonald was ready, but he respects the arm of Gordon, so that's why they didn't send him.
And kudos to the Royals scouting and the coaching staff, because we were just pointing out the shift. If Alex is in straightaway left field, he's not in position to make that catch.
That's right, and that ball bounced around his glove a little bit. Thankful it stayed in it. That's why he wears the gold. Now, Bobby Valentine's going to send Nick Punto in to run for Salty Lamacchia.
So Mike Aviles, motivated already going up against his former team, and now with a chance to put his new team in front in the 9th inning. With McDonald a pinch runner at third, Punto a pinch runner at second. And that's inside for ball 1. There is an open base, but I think the Royals would rather pitch to Mike Aviles than the man on deck.
Any day or night. Now the outfield's back to straight up playing him, and so is the infield.
Over the outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So he pitched him in and missed, and then away. And Aviles, who has always had that stride that goes toward third base, and especially against hard-throwing right-handers. One and two. So here you go. Aviles is set up for the slider down and away, which makes it so important for Brian Pena to block it. You got the tying runner at third base.
But he is ahead in the count, so you might try to get him to swing out of the strike zone. Fans on their feet.
Did he go? He did not. Royals are ready to burst into a celebration, but Bill Welke says no swing.
Ooh, and that's a good idea. I was looking for that pitch up to get him to swing and miss, but in Wilkie's interpretation, he didn't go for it. He's able to check his swing. Takes a deep breath, says, all right, it's focus time.
Aviles has 2 hits tonight. He has never faced Broxton. There's the slider, grounded to Escobar. Out at first, and the Royals win the series.
Woo! Nail biter.
So over 18,000 here tonight, sweating it out with Jonathan Broxton, who opened the inning allowing a single, then a walk, and after a bunt, runners at second and third and 1 out. Alex Gordon helps him out with a sliding play in left field, and then Broxton gets Aviles to end the game, the series, and the homestand on a winning note.
That's exactly how you go into an off day on the road. Royals get their first win against the left-handed starter, and they beat the beasts from the East in this homestand.
And those beasts are 3 beasts. The Yankees, the Red Sox, and John Lester.
That's right.
It's only the second time the Royals have ever defeated John Lester. Bruce Chen gets his first win of the year. And back of the plate all night was Brian Pena, who's down with Joe Goldberg.
Brian, thank you very much. We are down here with Brian Pena, and you catch a very exciting 9th inning there. The intensity was there, but also trying to call a game against your former teammate, Mike Aviles. What's the game plan at that point?
Well, the game plan, it was make a good pitch, not to give up. We got first baseman open. But Broxton, he came through like the way he is. He's an all-star, and he's our closer. And these fans, man, they're great. They deserve this victory.
And a series win, a homestand win for you guys. One other question about the 9th inning first before we move on. The catch by Alex Gordon and no chance to tag. What'd you see there?
Well, unbelievable. Alex is he's a god glove. He works hard. He got a lot of discipline, and he was right there. He put him in the right spot, and he made that catch. To me, that was the catch to save the game. So I'm very excited and very happy for my team and my teammates.
You told me this afternoon that you felt like Bruce had been better than the numbers had shown. So what made him so effective tonight?
Definitely, I think we start mixing a little bit more his changeup, and it was effective. Bruce, he's a fighter, he's a trooper, and every time that he goes, out there, he gives us, more than 100%. And tonight it was, a great victory for him and for our club, because I think we have been playing pretty good baseball, and we have been playing hard. So, thanks God, everything's going our way now.
Great job. Keep smiling. Thanks, BP.
All right, thanks, guys.
That is Brian Pena catching a great game behind the plate tonight. We will have more reaction coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Brian?
All right, thanks, Joel. Brian Pena had a 2-run double, and the Royals 3-run